So, like we said in the episode, when I was researching the background of the hymn, Jesus, Lover of My Soul, I came across this snippet from a book entitled Amazing Love, How Can It Be? Studies on Hymns by Charles Wesley. Here, the authors include an entry from Charles's diary where he describes a time he was nearly killed on the sea. And I really do think that this was largely played into the imagery he used at the beginning of this, and you'll kind of hear it. So I'm just going to read this. The captain warned me of a storm approaching. In the evening at 8, it came and rose higher and higher after I thought it must have come to its height. For I did not lose a moment of it, being obliged by the return of my flux to rise continually. At last, the long-wished for morning came and brought no abatement of the storm. There was so prodigious, I can't say that word, a sea, that it quickly washed away our sheep and half our hogs and drowned most of our fowl. The ship had been new caulked at Boston. How carefully it now appeared, for being deeply laden, the sea streamed in at the sides so plentifully that it was as much as 4 men could do by continually pumping to keep her above water. I rose and lay down by turns, but could remain in no posture long, strove vehemently to pray, but in vain, persisted in striving, yet still without effect. I prayed for power to pray, for faith in Jesus Christ, continually repeating his name till I felt the virtue of it at last, and knew that I abode under the shadow of the Almighty. It was now about 3 in the afternoon, and the storm at the height. I endeavored to encourage poor Mr. Bridge and Cutler, who were in the utmost agony of fear. I prayed with them and for them till 4, at which time the ship was made so much water that the captain, finding it otherwise impossible to save her from sinking, cut down the mizzen mast. In this dreadful moment, I bless God, I found the comfort of hope, and such joy in finding I could hope, as the world can neither give nor take away. I had that conviction of the power of God present with me, overruling my strongest passion, fear, and raising me above what I am by nature, as surpassed all rational evidence, and gave me a taste of the divine goodness. The wind was still high as ever, but the motion rather less violent since the cutting of the mast, and we did not ship quite so much water. I laid me down, utterly exhausted, but my distemper was so increased it would not suffer me to rest. Toward morning the sea heard and obeyed the divine voice, "Be still."
Even when he's writing prose, he's very eloquent.
No doubt I had to look up a ton of those words when I was doing this earlier. I was like, okay, what does that word mean? That's mostly because I'm not familiar with sea language.
Those bits I was like, I don't know what that word
Yeah.
is, but
Like basically he's like, even though when we were at the harbor, we like sealed up all the cracks, what good that did to us.
Okay, I was like,
yeah.
Does he mean the boat was like filled with cargo? Does he mean it was like kitted out newly?
Yeah,
like, okay.
it was basically like sealed up anew. They put fresh caulking in all the cracks and everything. But what good that was doing it, because the water was just streaming in.
Sounds terrifying as well. I remember when we were smaller, Mom, you can correct me if I get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember standing on the walls of a harbour in a town near us on the edge of a storm. It wasn't like a full raging storm, but they had railings. Mm-hmm. So we were up on the harbour wall, and I'm pretty sure there were railings, and basically we were having a whale of a time because the breakers were just coming in and they were like crashing against the harbour wall and soaking us. And that was like, it was thrilling. And it was so exciting, and obviously it's become a core memory, but it's also a little bit terrifying.
Oh yeah, don't mess
but
with
we were on land.
Yeah.
So that's different. Like, I can't imagine being in a wooden boat in a storm like that.
We have friends, I won't mention them by name, but when you hear this, you'll know that I'm talking to you. They actually went on a cruise during Hurricane Ian, which was a hurricane that just hit the Gulf Sea.
Here's the thing, they always have like really innocuous names, but They're scary.
They're scary. I mean, Ian did massive damage, but they were in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, and they said that they drained the pool. They were on a cruise ship, and they drained the pool, and they canceled all the events. And you know how big these cruise ships are. They are huge. And this cruise ship was like swerving left and right, and everybody was ill. They were so seasick. And you just think like, that is an angry sea, because those ships are not playing. I mean, they're built to withstand the regular, twos and fro's. You should barely feel it. Yeah, this is like swaying a building, like a skyscraper, like left and right, And I'm like, that's the sea, man. This is like, obviously, well, I don't say obviously, but the captain of the ship clearly thought that they could weather the storm in the cruise ship, and thankfully he was right. But this is like all modern technology, and it's still a little frightening. And you think about a sailboat, with different sails, and like in Charles's diary, he says that the captain cut the mizzen mast, and I was like, what is a mizzen mast? It's just one of the, it's the middle kind of,
the thing is, like, if you're in a storm, you can tie your sails up so the wind can't catch them, but the mast itself still can catch the wind. And also, if the ropes break and the sails get loose and you can't retie them, then you've just got this added power pushing you around. And I think that just showed like his level of despair, that he was like, because when the weather gets better, like you've lost some of your horsepower because you don't have this mast and the sails on it. Yeah. So very interesting. If you haven't caught it. I love the end though.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The end where he just says about at the very last where they heard God's voice and was like, be still.
Yeah, be still.
Yeah. I thought that was a beautiful line at the end.
Yes, man, because it's exactly what Jesus told the sea in Matthew 8. Did I get that right?
Yeah, 28. No, it's not 28. It's 8. Matthew. You're right. We just read it.
Something or the other. If that piqued your interest, if for some reason you're watching this bonus clip and you haven't heard the full episode, go check out the full episode. We talk about the wonderful hymn, Jesus, Lover of My Soul. The writer of that hymn wrote this diary entry, and I think you will be very, very encouraged by it.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Hymnpartial podcast. Before you click away, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're notified of future posts on this channel. More details like how to support us or how to sign up for our free weekly newsletter can be found at hymnpartial.com.